Good morning. We are the Blue Team, integrated by Eric Cepeda, Emmanuel Armas, and myself, Julissa Benitez. Today, we will explore the different viable market entry strategies for foreign countries and their potential implementation for our company, Veles. Um, to begin, it is important to explain the context of the simulated company assigned to us. Veles is a conceptual high-end fashion brand inspired by deep cultural narratives and the relationship between identity, symbolism, and contemporary aesthetics. The brand does not compete on volume or price, but on meaning, authenticity, and the construction of symbolic value. Its proposal targets a very specific niche: customers and cultural actors who seek differentiation, narrative, and aesthetic coherence. Furthermore, Veles is an early stage of internationalization, with limited resources and clear need for external legitimization, which extremely conditions the entry strategies it can adopt. In an international context where the perception of the country of origin can be more influential than product quality, the choice of a strategy is not only logical but also communicative and diplomatic.
Point number two, definition of markets entry strategies for international markets. At this point, we explain the different market entry strategies for international markets, starting with those less viable for bills and moving towards those with great potential. Turned projects. A turned project involves a company designing, building, and delivering a complete operation in the foreign country, which is subsequently managed by a local third party. Among these main advantages are reduced operational risk and relative quick return or investigate. However, its major disadvantage is that it does not allow for brand building or a direct relationship with the end market. For this reason, this strategy is not viable for bills, as the brand's essence depends on symbolic, narrative, and cultural construction for the consumer. It would be like contradiction is identity, something as conceptual luxury brands cannot afford.
Buying a company. Buying a company abroad involves acquiring an already established firm to enter the market immediately. The main advantage is rapid access to infrastructure, distribution channels, and market knowledge. However, it requires a high investment and can generate cultural and identity conflicts. For Veles, this strategy is not suitable, as it could compromise the brand's aesthetic and narrative coherence. In addition to implying high financial risk, in an environment of potential commercial tariffs and geopolitical tensions, such as import taxes from Russia under administrations like Trump's, such a rigid and exposed investment becomes even riskier.
Franchising. Franchising allows third parties to operate the brand under guidelines defined by the parent company. Its advantages: rapid expansion and reduced financial risk. However, the main disadvantage is the loss of control over the brand experience. In the case of Veles, this strategy is not viable, as its value proportion requires very strict creative and symbolic control. Slavic narrative and craftsmanship cannot be standardized without losing authenticity, which is precisely what contemporary luxury consumers criticize.
Licensing. Licensing authorizes a third party to use the signs, the brand, or creative elements in exchange for royalties. It reduces entry costs and risk, but limits control over the use for the brand identity. For Veles, the strategy could build its narrative and conceptual luxury positions, so this is now considered suitable. Moreover, is the market like the United States, where intellectual property and narrative are key. Licensing could be interpreted as a lack of confidence in one's own creative capacity.
Direct export. Direct exports involve selling products abroad without establishing productive operations in the destination country. It is a flexible, low-risk strategy with lower initial investment. However, it offers limited contact with the local market. For Veles, this strategy is moderately viable as a first approach, although it is not sufficient by itself to build cultural legitimacy. Current Current tariffs and complex logistics from Russia will increase cost and lead times, making the product more expensive and hindering its competitiveness against local brands.
Greenfield investment. A greenfield investment consists of creating one's own operation from scratch in foreign country. Its main advantages are total operational control and the ability to fully adapt to the strategy to the local market. However, it requires a high initial investment and a long recovery period. For Veles, this strategy could be considered viable in the long term once the brand has validated its acceptance in the international market, but not as an initial strategy. An example would be opening a proprietary outlier or showroom in cities like New York or Los Angeles once the brand is consolidated in the US market. However, in the term, country risk and entry barriers make it unviable.
Point 3. Suitable entry strategies for Veles. Strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships involve collaborations between companies or organizations without the need to share capital. They allow for the sharing of reputation, market knowledge, and resources while maintaining the independence of each party. In the case of Veles, partnering with stylists, film production companies, cultural institutions, or brand ambassadors will strengthen its legitimacy and international positioning. For example, collaborating with a Hollywood wardrobe or house for the award season not only provides visibility, but also contextualizes the brand in a prestigious environment, mitigating potential rejection due to its origin.
Piggyback. Piggybacking involves the distribution channels of an early established company to enter a foreign market. Its main advantage is immediate access to consolidated markets with reduced investment. The disadvantage is dependence on the distribution partner. For Veles, this strategy is highly viable. For example, it could enter the United States through multi-brand luxury boutiques, specialized online platforms, or temporary showrooms in boutique hotels during award seasons and cultural events. This not only reduces costs, but also allows it to test market acceptance without a permanent physical investment, something crucial given current commercial volatility.
Joint venture. A joint venture is a creation of a new sharing entity with a local partner in the target market. These advantages include risk reduction, access to local or knowledge, and very cultural adaptation. Also, it implies greater managed complexity. For builds, this strategy could be bind at the large stage, where the brand has greater international recounting and can partner with someone who shares its vision on both. A joint venture with a USA partner, for example, could help navigate traffic regulations or improve logistics and showing public's perception uh, regarding the Russian origin, aligning with the next to recognize audience without losing their authenticity.
Conclusion. In conclusion, the choice of entry strategy must respond to the real context of the company. Not all strategies are equally viable for all brands. In the case of Veles, collaborative and low risk strategies such as strategic partnerships and piggy banking are the most coherent for its internationalization process. This allows for building legitimacy, managing country risk, and maintaining narrative integrity without financial overexposure in such a sensitive commercial and political environment as the current one.